National Assembly representatives were arrested Thursday night over bribery allegations, with more lawmakers suspected of taking kickbacks. Another sinkhole was found near the Sokchon underpass area in Seoul. Local residents are growing ever more concerned. And Korean researchers have developed the world's first solar cells that look like fabric, which could one day be used in wearable gadgets. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, August 22nd. I'm Luke Clary. 3 incumbent National Assembly representatives were arrested Thursday night over bribery allegations. However, the court rejected the prosecution's request to issue arrest warrants for 2 other lawmakers of the main opposition party who are also suspected of wielding their influence for financial kickbacks.
The Seoul District Court has issued arrest warrants for the ruling Saenuri Party's representative, CHO HYUN-YONG, and the opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy's Kim Jae-yun. They were arrested at 11 p.m. last night, just 1 hour before the start of the National Assembly's extraordinary session.
충분히 진실을 얘기를 했는데 정말 답답할 수가 없어요.
The court explained that the criminal charges launched against Reps Cho and Kim were serious enough to justify the detainment. Cho is accused of receiving nearly $157,000 in bribes from a railway track manufacturer. Kim allegedly received almost $49,000 in return for legislating a law that would allow the Seoul Arts College to change its name. The 2 lawmakers were held at a detention center. Meanwhile, the court denied warrant requests for Representatives Shin Kye-ryun and Shin Ha-kyung of the New Politics Alliance for Democracy. The 2 lawmakers were also accused of taking advantage of their legislative influence.
국민들에게 심려길 수 없어서 죄송하고요. 이것도 다 부득이의 수치다.
앞으로가 더 중요하고 진실이 낱낱이 밝혀질 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
The 2 lawmakers have returned home but will be investigated without detainment. Meanwhile, the Incheon District Court issued an arrest warrant for Saenuri Party representative Park Sang-un, accused of violating the Political Funds Act. He was jailed in the Incheon Detention Center on Wednesday evening.
The ruling Saenuri Party has apologized to the public over the arrest of its lawmaker on corruption charges. The main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy, meanwhile, blasted the prosecution's investigation.
The ruling Saenuri Party has offered an apology to the public. Party spokesman Kim Young-woo said his party is sorry that the present situation has taken place to begin with, when the ruling camp should be leading efforts to revive the economy. He also urged Saenuri representatives CHO HYUN-YONG and Park Sang-un to faithfully cooperate with the investigation in making the truth clear and free of doubt. Additionally, the spokesman called for a swift and fair investigation based on the law and principles. The ruling party also vowed publicly to exert more strenuous efforts to reform politics and abolish unreasonable privileged rights granted to legislators. Meanwhile, the opposition MPAD said the denied arrest warrants demonstrate how exaggerated the charges lodged against its lawmakers were. Spokeswoman Han Jong-ae said it's difficult to understand why a warrant was issued for only one of the 3 MPAD lawmakers who were all investigated for the same bribery case involving a vocational art school in Seoul. She noted that Representative Kim Jae-yun, for whom a warrant was issued, was in the past found innocent of corruption charges related to a for-profit hospital in Jeju Island. She said it doesn't make sense that he would commit a similar crime. The spokeswoman said his warrant appears to be little more than an effort by the court to seek some sort of balance between the ruling and opposition parties.
Several regions in Korea were hit with torrential rain yesterday. 21 mountain climbers on Sorak Mountain were rescued 10 hours after they'd become stranded in a valley.
Stranded by the flooding on Sorak Mountain, these hikers are returning safely with the help of the mountain rescue team. 29 hikers, members of a mountaineering club in Gyeonggi Province, began hiking up Sorak Mountain at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. At 3 p.m., just 5 hours after they started, they became stranded in the valley due to a high volume of water blocking their advances.
두 계곡이 합류 지점에서 이제 넓어지니까 못 걷는 거지. 그리고 119 불러가지고 지금 한 3시간 만에 만난 거예요.
8 hikers were able to make their descent around 4:30 p.m. yesterday through a nearby trail. But the remaining 21 trekkers, many of whom were elderly, were delayed by the flooding. They were finally rescued at 1 a.m. this morning, 10 hours after the ordeal began.
지진을 모르기 때문에 가는 길에 이제 계곡을 만나면 건너지를 못하니까 능선을 타고 넘어간 거예요. 그러다 보니까 길을 점점 헤맨 거죠.
Yesterday's precipitation on Sorak Mountain was recorded at 71.5 millimeters. Hikers are advised to heed torrential rain alerts and refrain from hiking the mountains during heavy rainstorms.
Another sinkhole was found on Thursday, which makes a total of 7 sinkholes or tunnel-like underground spaces found near the Sokchon underpass area so far in Seoul. The ground continues to sink, and local residents are growing ever more concerned.
A busy road has sunk down. Thankfully, there was no major damage as there were no passers-by at the time, but the accident could easily have become more serious. The latest sinkhole was found 60 meters from the Line 9 metro construction site and some 900 meters from the Sokchon underpass. The incidence of sinkholes has become a nearly daily event recently, and locals are unable to hide their concern.
이렇게 사방에서 자꾸 꺼지니까 좀 위험하고 좀 마음이 불안하고.
걸어 다니다가 다치거나 그럴 것 같아서 무섭고 조심해야겠다는 생각이 들어요.
Due to the danger of sinkholes and tunnel-like open spaces underground, the underpass has been blocked for the past 10 days. As a result, reduced passenger traffic in the area is dealing a heavy blow to nearby vendors. Inspectors have installed 79 measuring devices in buildings near the underpass to thoroughly measure the degree of cracks and slants. Safety checks have also been increased to 3 times a week. Nonetheless, with heavy downpours that have been continuing for days on end, residents of Sokchon-dong are nervous that further sinkholes may appear.
South and North Korean sports officials attended the draw ceremony for 10 events to be held at the Incheon Asian Games. Soccer officials from the two Koreas greeted each other, and both were happy with the results of the group drawing.
The North Korean delegation entered the venue of the draw ceremony looking tense. The vice president of the South Korean Football Association, Cho Sung-ho, welcomed the delegation.
감독 안 왔어. 아니 누가 왔어 감독. 다음에 누가 와요? 강민이가 지금.
South Korean soccer coaches of the men's and women's teams also watched the ceremony next to the North Korean delegation. Initially, the organizers of the ceremony hoped that a North Korean representative would also participate in group drawing, but only a South Korean representative was involved. The North Korean men's soccer team will play in Group F, which includes China and Pakistan. The South Korean team will also play in Group A, which includes Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Laos.
우즈벡이라든가 북한이라든가 이런 팀들을 좀 피하고 싶었고요. 지금 현재 나온 예상으로는 그래도 무난하다고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
The North Korean delegation appeared to be satisfied with the results of group drawing. At the draw ceremony for gymnastics, South Korea mistakenly appeared on the signboard instead of North Korea, which the North Korean delegation complained about. The North Korean delegation, which visited the South amid stalled inter-Korean sports exchanges, returned to the North today. There are only 20 days left to go before the Incheon Asian Games. The North seems pleased with the results of group drawings for the soccer and gymnastics events. Now, attention is focusing on when the North will agree to resume sports exchanges with the South.
Today's advertisements are more than just marketing tactics designed to motivate consumption. They're an art form in and of themselves, making viewers laugh and cry. People now have a chance to see moving and ingenious advertisements from all over the world at an international advertising festival hosted in Busan.
This TV advertisement shows how delicious a cookie can smell with a startling and amusing scene. This ad for mosquito repellent illustrates humorously the physical torment caused by a mosquito. Pictures of the elderly made up of sharp razor blades portray loneliness and old age and add poignant emotion to the advertisement. These are some of the entries submitted for the 7th Busan International Advertising Festival. Also called Ad Stars, the festival has become Asia's largest advertising fair, with a record-breaking 12,500 entries presented from 62 countries.
광고 전문가들만을 위한 닫힌 광고제가 아니라 일반인 누구나 참가할 수 있는 열린 광고제입니다. 그래서 남녀노소, 학생, 어른 누구나 가볍게 참여하셔서 이 창의성을 한껏 누리고 보시기 바랍니다.
World-leading advertising experts such as Lauren Connolly from the U.S. are to take part as executive judges and seminar presenters to share their know-how on creative thinking and production.
The convergence of storytelling with technology and innovation and craft, and I think that's very important. We have more ways to tell stories than we've ever had.
This year's Ad Stars also features an advertising contest for teenagers and college students, as well as a job fair.
Korean researchers have developed the world's first bendable solar cells that look like fabric. The development is expected to be applied in various areas in connection with the next generation technology trend of wearable gadgets.
The display folds like a piece of paper. This computer can be worn on your wrist like a watch. These are wearable gadgets people can wear as they freely bend and fold. A world first, Korean researchers have developed a fabric-type solar cell that can serve as the power source embedded in wearable gadgets. The panel is flexible like a cloth and can freely bend and fold. The panel was actually made to resemble woven fabric, using super thin thread-like metal and ceramic fibers.
대량 생산이 가능하고 이제 기계적으로도 튼튼한 그런 소재를 찾다 보면은 저희 옷감이 가장 적당한 소재거든요. 그래서
The flexible solar panels can generate power for strings and bands in glasses and watches. They can also produce electricity outdoors for equipment such as camping tents. It can be used as an efficient source of power, making military barracks and backpacks more convenient for soldiers during combat.
가볍기 때문에 이제 이게 좀 더 발달하면 사실은 건물에 붙여가지고 쓸 수 있는데 그렇게 되면 이제 정말 큰 시장을 확보할 수 있게 되는 겁니다.
This latest study is published in Scientific Reports, a sister publication of the renowned Nature magazine.
It began in the United States and has spread worldwide. Take a look at how people in various corners of the globe raise awareness and donate to a campaign for Lou Gehrig's disease patients by dumping buckets of ice water on their heads.
Deal. I could use that cash. Let's do it!
A bucket full of icy water is dumped on a man's head, arousing laughter from everyone around. Some dump ice on themselves by recreating famous movie scenes or even using helicopters. The person who completes the ice bucket challenge picks 3 other people who must also complete it in order to promote the donation campaign. The ice bucket challenge began in the United States in June to raise charity funds for the treatment of Lou Gehrig's disease. Former U.S. President George W. Bush also joined the campaign, nominating another former president.
Yesterday was Bill's birthday, and my gift to Bill is a bucket of cold water.
Here we go.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg picked former Microsoft chairman Bill Gates as the next person to take part in the challenge. Gates even made his own water-dropping device for the occasion. Many Korean celebrities have also joined the Ice Bucket Challenge. They include baseball star Yoo Hyun-jin and former pro basketball coach Park Seung-il, who has battled Lou Gehrig's disease for nearly 12 years.
You have a shot at changing the world in a way. There's no reason to stop. Have fun. Not only have fun, but you're creating awareness for a disease that has none.
The heartwarming relay challenge is helping people all over the world to better understand the suffering of those with hard-to-cure diseases.
Characterized by sweet and tart flavors, grapes come in many different varieties and range in colors from green to red to purple. Today, how to enjoy this popular and refreshing fruit and how to make use of grape seeds and skins. At this orchard, fully ripe grapes are waiting to be harvested. These people have come to pick their own grapes at the orchard, but they first try the plump, blackish purple fruits right off the vine.
향도 좋고 단맛이 많이 나는데요. 여기서 직접 먹어보니까
6 grape varieties are grown in Korea. The most popular varieties are Campbell Early, green grapes, and Gobong or Kyohom. It was found that the green grapes were the sweetest of the three. Good grapes are characterized by these common features across the varieties. The color should be dark and the grapes should have a silvery white bloom on the skin. This white cover should not be mistaken for pesticide residue. It's produced naturally by the fruit sugar, so it's safe to eat. If you're going to sample the grapes before buying, try out the berries at the bottom end of the bunch. Grapes tend to be sour towards the lower end, so if the berries at the end are sweet, that means the whole bunch is sweet. Grapes should be rinsed well before eating. It's hard to wash each grape berry thoroughly, so just keep the grapes in water for 20 minutes or rinse with vinegar and water. It's also important to properly store grapes if you want to enjoy them for a long time. Don't wash them ahead of time because wet grapes tend to spoil easily. Wrap them in newspaper and keep them refrigerated. Newspaper locks in the moisture and keeps the grapes fresh for at least 3 days. But what to do with all the grape skins afterward? Don't throw them away. Instead, use them in the kitchen. If scrubbing with a dishwashing detergent doesn't get rid of the stuck-on grease on your frying pan, rub some grape skins on the pan. The citric acid in the skins helps remove the grease stains completely. Also, washing a cutting board with grape skin can effectively remove food odor. Grape seeds can also come in handy, so don't throw them away either. Combine finely ground grape seeds and yogurt to make a natural exfoliant. It will do wonders for your elbows or heels.
포도를 항상 맛있게 먹고 나머지 쓰레기가 항상 무죄였는데 다른 용도로 활용하니까 오히려 일석삼조가 된 것 같은 느낌입니다.
If you can, consume every part of the grape, especially the skin, because it's packed with nutrients.
포도 껍질에 들어있는 레스페라트롤이라는 물질은 항산화작용, 항암작용, 항염증작용 등 다양한 질병을 예방하는 효과를 가지고 있으며 또 레스페라트롤은 콜레스테롤 저하 효과가 있어 심혈관 질환 예방에 도움이 됩니다.
One way to enjoy grape skin and all is to make bibimbap or noodles with spicy sauce. Use grape juice made with whole green grapes instead of vinegar to make a spicy sauce for the noodles. The grapes provide a crunchy texture and sweet and tangy flavors to the dish. Let's make some refreshing dessert with grapes. First, grind the red grapes in a blender and freeze the grape juice for 3 hours. Scrape the frozen grape mixture with a fork and voila! You have a sweet dessert with not a single grain of sugar. You may add some nuts for crunchiness. This cool dessert is not only delicious but also good for you, since it uses every part of the grape and is sugarless. This sweet and tangy fruit is perfect for some tasty relief from the stifling heat of the summer. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.